I'm a seafarer, and I was born in Ukraine. I lived in Kherson. I've worked at sea for more than 10 years. In Ukraine, it can sometimes be difficult to get a well-paid job on land. Working at sea offers more opportunities to provide a better income for my family. The hardest thing about being at sea is not being with my family, not seeing my daughters grow and go to school. On the day the accident happened, the weather was quite bad. I was coming down some steps on a ladder and my hand slipped. I couldn't catch onto anything and I fell. I spent 2 months in hospital. After the trauma of the accident, the first thing I thought about was if I was okay. And I thought about my family. I was frightened. And I was worried about how I would provide for my family. At the same time, war started in my country, in Ukraine. There was an occupation in the city where my family were living. And so for me, it was 2 traumas, the trauma of my physical injury, and then what was happening with my family, and not being able to help.
The obvious main concerns were, first of all, his family being safe, because I think originally they'd evacuated from Kherson, and they got to move to Warsaw in Poland. He knew then that at least they were safe from the initial threat of physical harm.
Stella Maris came to see me in those first few days. They were a lifeline spiritually and practically, supporting me. Stella Maris are a great organisation. They helped me, being so far from my family and with my English being poor. They helped fill out the visa forms for my family, so my wife and 2 children could join me here in England, which they've now been able to do. During Anne's visits to me in hospital, I felt like I was a member of her family. I could speak to her very easily. I could speak about anything. And I found that a really wonderful, helpful thing.
He needed to know there was somebody he could turn to, and I think we provided that. We provided the family in the UK that he didn't have at the time because of the nature of the war. It's basically very simple what we do. We visit seafarers on ships. The things that we provide to seafarers are basically small acts of kindness, or what I would call the gospel in action. It's about building a network of people who are there to look after the welfare of seafarers, and I think any seafarer who knows that will know, wherever they are in the world, that Stella Maris chaplains will be there to help them and provide what support they need.
I think the help that Stella Maris gives is really important to every seafarer, especially if they have trouble or in difficulty. Stella Maris are there for them at the time when help is most needed.
Every day I get up and I think what a great ministry Stella Maris is, and how wonderful it is to be able to go up to a ship or a seafarer and say, what can I do to help you? It's about bringing the gospel in action every day to the people that we serve.
Every year, Stella Maris helps thousands of seafarers in need, but we can't do it without your help. Please donate online at www.stellamaris.org.uk/donate, or text C to 70460 to donate £5.